Being successful in only one area of your life, whether that's your health, your relationships, or your fitness, is not enough if you call yourself a 1% man. No matter whether you're working 80 hours a week, whether your schedule changes bi-weekly, I'm about to break down exactly how you can maximize your time like a 1% man to reach your full potential and make your progress inevitable and max out every single area of your life, no matter what your calendar looks like right now. Just a year and a half ago, I had a 9-to-5 job and I was trying to move up the ranks within my company. I had an Amazon FBA business as a side hustle, which I allocated a lot of time to. I was managing clients, managing people. I was also spending time with my girlfriend, maximizing my relationship, still spending time with my family, and still spending time with my friends, and making time for the things that I personally love to do. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how you can do the exact same thing so you're getting shit done like a fucking man, moving your life forward, crushing your goals, reaching your full potential, and still having time to enjoy your life. Regardless of the hours you work or what your life looks like, I'm gonna show you how to be excellent in every single area of life and maximize all 4 quadrants that every man needs to maximize to reach your full potential and become your highest self. Now, the 4 quadrants that we need to maximize as men is wealth, so your business, your job, your side hustles, and your investments, as well as your health, your fitness, your sleep, your nutrition, your family and friends, so your long-term stable relationships, and then dating, with your spouse or potential spouse, whoever you're trying to date. I'm gonna show you how to make time for that shit, right? We wanna maximize all 4 quadrants, but before we do that, let's go into the myth that keeps most men stuck, why most men don't make the progress that they want. And that myth is, in order to maximize our money, in order to maximize our relationships, we have to sacrifice our health. But that is not true whatsoever. And that exact myth is keeping you stuck and not allowing you to reach your full potential. You absolutely do not need to sacrifice your health if you want to prioritize your money. We need to be doing it all. That's what a 1% man would actually do. And the loser's trap is believing that you have to sacrifice one of these things. And that's the trap that I spent the majority of my life in. As you can see here, when I thought my health wasn't as important as my business, I looked like shit and I was a fat piece of shit. My confidence was extremely low and I felt bad about myself all of the time because I knew I was meant for more. As you can see here, here's me getting ready for my job, but I was fat, I was out of shape, and I was just directionless. And here's me using my family as cope, spending time with my family, saying I don't have time for my goals because I have to give all my time to my family. And when I did that, I was the least happy I've ever been. I made the least amount of progress I've ever made. And I didn't have anything to give to my family because I wasn't pouring into myself. I didn't have much to offer. So my time with my family wasn't very valuable, right? But after applying the 1% man scheduling protocol, as you can see here, I got absolutely fucking jacked and shredded. I still work on my business. I still work all of the time and I still make time for my family. I still make time for dating and for relationships. And I'm going to show you how you can do the same thing. You don't have to sacrifice it. We need to maximize every area of life. It's all important. One is not more important than the other. However, there is a rule that I like to call the health rule. Your health is the only quadrant that improves every other quadrant. Your health is going to improve your family and friends, your relationships with them, because the more healthy you are, the more you actually have to offer, the more vibrant you are, the more confident you're going to be, and the more lessons you have to teach to your family, the more quality time you can spend with your friends and actually influence them to better their lives and be an example for everybody that you spend time with. As far as your wealth, improving your health is going to give you more energy to work on your business. It's going to give you more confidence. You're going to have a stature about you. So when you walk in a room, you're going to demand more respect, and it's going to motivate you to want to grow your business even more. And then obviously your dating and relationships, clearly this is going to improve that because from a physical standpoint, you're going to be more attractive, but most importantly, you're going to be more confident to go approach a girl. You're going to be more confident to lead your woman, because your woman is a reflection of you. If you're dating a woman right now and she's not in the shape you want, look at yourself, bro. She's only going to be as careful about her health as you are, right? So health is going to improve every other quadrant of your life. So what I want to show you is how to have maximum return on investment on your time through nutrition and training. How are you going to prioritize the gym and fitness and health and still maximize every other area of your life, no matter what areas you work in? And as far as training goes, I like to call this the 4-4-5 training protocol. You only need to be training 4 days a week, 45 minutes at a time. You don't need to be training more than that, and I'm going to explain why. So when you're in the gym, the way you're going to get the maximum efficiency that you can is being intentional about every single rep. So we apply the single tasking rule here. When you're under the bar, you're not on your phone, you're focused on the hypertrophy on every single rep. When you're in the gym, you're not focused on the rep after this, you're not focused on the set after this, one set at a time. And what that allows you to do is actually focus on maximizing the return on investment on every single rep. You're focused on the contraction. You're focused on the form, so you're getting so much out of one little rep. So we're maximizing our time with that. We're also lifting heavy. I call it the heavy load advantage. So we focus on lower reps and higher weight. Why? Because high intensity and heavy lifting stimulates muscle growth in the shortest amount of time. So by lowering the amount of sets and actually increasing the weight, not only are we getting our time back, but we're doubling our muscle growth, because this is what's most optimal for hypertrophy. Also, when you go to the gym, you should have zero guesswork. You should be going to the gym with a plan, knowing exactly what you're going to execute on, so that there's no buffer, so that you're not wasting time, so that there's no guesswork. So you need to build a 4-day workout split around your goals. So when you go in the gym, all you have to do is execute, so you can get in, get out, and also optimize your time in there, right? You should never walk into the gym wondering, what do I have to do today, right? You need to have a pre-written training plan that you execute, right? And then you log the data, and then you fucking leave. And then every week you're in the gym, you're simply trying to lift heavier than you did last week. You're trying to beat your old self. And this split is so optimal for time, because when life happens, this 4-day split acts as a cheat code, because if something comes up on Monday, you have a business meeting or something you have to do, you can move your Monday workout to Tuesday, and you could have that flexibility to actually still complete the workouts in a timely fashion in that 7-day split. So let's say you work a job where your hours change every single week. That's perfectly fine, because if you had planned to work Monday and you get assigned for work on Monday, all you have to do is move that workout to Tuesday. So it's a cheat code, right? And as long as you're willing to hit those 4-day workout splits within a 7-day time frame, you're good. And this gives you the flexibility to do that. Now, from a nutrition aspect, right? I call this the nutritional architecture. It's simple and it's repeatable. Nutrition is not about dieting. It's about fueling the machine without wasting mental energy. So every Sunday, all you need to do is take 60 minutes out of your week. That is it. 60 minutes to meal prep. And you can meal prep your entire week in 1 hour. Or you can literally outsource your meals to a meal prep company, and that takes 0 time. So staying on track with your nutrition is really not as difficult as many people make it to be. And especially if you have the money because you're working on your business, you get to buy your time back, right? Also, having simple, repeatable meals is very important. So don't overcomplicate the recipes that you're making. Find 3 to 5 high protein, high performance meals that fit your macro profile that you can repeat, and just keep those as your base, right? Don't overcomplicate nutrition. Keep the cheat meals for the cheat meals. Keep the intricate meals for when you have the time. But if you're a busy person, having 3 to 5 meals that you can repeat keeps it simple, and then you always know that you're hitting your macros and progress is inevitable. But also, no food is evil. So when you understand the structure behind nutrition, you can go eat a cheat meal. You can fit your favorite foods into the plan. So you're not sacrificing pizza or burgers, whatever the hell you like, when you understand that you can structure your meals in a way to still enjoy the foods that you love. So you go to a business meeting, you can eat what they have there. As long as you understand the structure behind what you're doing, then you're good to go. And then portability. If you have a structured meal plan, you know how to eat at a 5-star steakhouse or a terminal at JFK. Doesn't matter where you're at, right? Because you understand how food affects your energy, your focus, and your recovery. So if you're struggling to stay on point with your nutrition, you're lacking knowledge behind how food impacts your goals. So learn how nutrition actually impacts the progress you're trying to make. And then it becomes so fucking easy when you have a structure that you can actually follow no matter where you're at, whether you're traveling or not. And the goal is to look like an athlete, but feel like a CEO. You want to be a fucking 1% man? You got to know this shit. You cannot leave any stone unturned, right? So the meals, the training becomes part of who you are and part of your identity. Therefore, you can take it with you anywhere. And it's so flexible, but you have a structure to fall back on, which makes it doable for literally anyone. Anyone can do this. There's 168 hours in 1 week, right? Often people say they don't have the time. Well, I'm about to show you how you can have the time, okay? Let's say you work 80 hours. Now, the typical person works around 40. If you work a 9 to 5, you're working 40. But let's just say you're one of the busiest human beings on the planet and you're working 80 hours a week. That's 80, right? If you're sleeping 8 hours a night, which is optimal, that's 56 hours a week. Let's say you're spending 10 hours a week with family and friends, maybe 5 hours on Saturday, 5 hours on Sunday. Let's say you're spending another 10 hours with your sexual partner, aka your fucking girlfriend or a girl you're trying to date. 10 hours, that's still a lot of time. And let's say you're in the gym 5.5 hours. Now, the reason I say 5.5 is because 4 days a week, 45 minutes, I'm also accounting for 20 minutes travel to the gym and 20 minutes travel back each way. If you add that all up, it leads to 5.5 hours for the week. And meal prep. The reason I say 2 hours is because that gives you an extra hour to grocery shop if you have to. But that's really all it takes. And if you're spending this amount of time, which this is a lot of time for you to be spending, you still left with 4.5 hours left over, right? Where is that time going? Check your screen time. However, if you work 40 hours a week, you're left with 44.5 hours left over, and you're still maximizing all the time you need to spend time with people you love, date people you want to date, and live your fucking life, right? Now look, as human beings, we are not meant to multitask. Multitasking is a myth. We are designed to be single taskers. Multitasking is a myth that actually reduces your productivity by 40%. Your brain is not a parallel processor. It is a task switcher. So when you switch tasks, you force these areas to recalibrate, wasting massive amounts of energy. So when you structure your day where it's like, okay, I have this task to do that's right in front of me, and that's it, it becomes very easy for you to make progress. But when you're trying to juggle multiple things at once, you actually decrease your productivity by 40%. So what I'm going to do now is show you what this time frame actually looks like when you build it in Google Calendar. If you love something, if it matters to you, you need to actually plan it. Planning your Google Calendar is going to be your database. It's going to be your lifeblood of being a 1% man. And I'm going to show you exactly how your calendar should look so that you can actually structure this time and make sure that you're moving the needle forwards. Let's say you're a man who works 40 hours a week. This is something that it would look like, right? You plan your sleep. You plan when you're going to do your morning routine. Here's your breakfast and coffee. Then you have the gym for 45 minutes every single day. And this is actually with time allotted for travel as well. You plan when you're going to work. You plan your meals. Plan when you're going to meal prep. Plan time with your wife, your girlfriend, or for going on dates, and plan time with your family. And as you can see, if you schedule all this out, look at all the white space you still have to fill with whatever the fuck you want. The time is there. You just have to structure it properly. Now, let's say you work a job where the hours change weekly. All you would have to do is, let's say this hour changed, you move this down. You move this down, and let's say you move this up, right? You can structure your days based off your schedule and be flexible. Let's say you can't make a workout on Tuesday, you move this shit to Wednesday. It's that simple. And if you're a busy person who's working 80 hours a week, as you can see here, if you actually fill the calendar, you still have time to meal prep. You still have time for the gym. You still have time to eat. You still have time to spend time with family and friends. And guess what? You can spend time with family and friends at dinner, at lunch, when you're doing things that you already have to do. There is the time if you're willing to put the work in and actually make it. The time is always going to be there for you. So that being said, respect the calendar, man. It all comes down to your calendar. Your calendar says everything about you. If your health is important to you, if your wealth is important to you, if your time with your family and friends is important to you, you have to schedule that shit. Dedicate a block of time with shorty, time with the gym. You have to actually map it out. And the result is going to be you avoid distractions, you eliminate recalibration gaps, you get to focus on one task at a time. You always know what's in front of you. I got the gym. Okay, then I got time with shorty, then I got lunch, then I got work. And when you're actually only focused on one task at a time, you're so much more productive because there's intention behind what you're doing. And you're not focused on the goal anymore, because when you focus on the goal, all you can do is think about how far you are from the goal. But what actually gets you to the goal in the shortest time frame possible is focusing on the input, the thing that's right in front of you, and maximizing that. And that's exactly what the calendar allows you to do. So you do have the time, and I promise you, if you're willing to put the work in and schedule this, you will make the time. Now, if you found this video helpful, DM me the word calendar on Instagram, and I could actually send you a video of a step-by-step process of how to build out your calendar. So DM me the word calendar on Instagram if you want to learn even further how to actually structure your calendar, and I'm willing to help you do that, man. But listen, if you want to be a 1% man, this is what it takes. Don't make excuses. Don't complain. Get that shit done. Peace.